The day has arrived. The black metal is going to be going on the roof. We decided to go with black metal because we are going with black framed windows inside and out, and we wanted it all to match and look really nice and rustic and lodgy. So we're really excited to watch this go on because it's actually going to be our finished roof material. It's going to be the first actual finished material going on the house. It's very exciting. Well, let's see how it turns out. So I was just picking some spinach salad here and absolutely melting. This week and next week we are in the triple digits. We've got days that are 103, 105, just, it's nuts. So the guys are trying to put the black metal down, but it's literally burning them. They're baking up there. It's like a solar oven. I don't even know what this week's gonna look like, whether they're starting at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to beat the heat or showing up at 6 or 7 at night and trying to do it that way, but they're coming down off the roof. And I'm so thankful that they are, because although they were trying to push through, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're getting a little worried about their health. So they're gonna come down and work in the shade for the beam entranceway instead. And then we'll just kind of take it from there. It's too hot right now to do metal. All right, so they got the brackets in and they will be back tomorrow morning bright and early, probably like 5 a.m. because it's supposed to be 100 degrees tomorrow. So they're gonna try to show up first light and get as much work as they can done before they're forced off the roof. By 11 or noon, they're probably gonna have to get off the roof, and then they'll probably continue working on this section here. But we are making progress, it's coming together. It's so exciting to just watch this unfold. But seeing those few pieces of metal on the roof, I think they got about 1/6 of the roof done. Seeing those up there looks good. The black metal looks really good. So we'll see what they get done tomorrow. Now that we are back to growing our own food, I'm making a major push to become a little more health conscious for our family. I started making our own salad dressings, but what I didn't realize at the time was that 70% of olive oil sold at the supermarket do not meet industry standards. That's when I discovered Brightland. My favorite 2 olive oils are the Awake and the Alive. The Awake is robust and grassy. It's perfect for pastas and soups and dipping bread, but today I'm making a healthy salad, so I'm going to be using the Alive. The Alive is smooth and nutty. It's perfect for dips and salad. I'm going to be pairing this with the Rafter balsamic vinaigrette. Brightland's oil is bottled fresh with absolutely no preservatives or fillers. All of the ingredients are all natural and locally sourced from independent farmers. We love that our fresh produce maintains a fresh taste, thanks to heirloom, hand-picked ingredients, and antioxidant-rich compounds. With Brightland, you know the exact type of olives and fruit used and the year of harvest for each product. There are no additives, no junk, it's completely organic. Although we have tried many of the oil and vinegars from Brightland, I cannot wait to try the summer grilling capsule for this year's barbecues. Try Brightland now and use my code GoodSimpleLiving to get 10% off, and click the link in the description box below to get your first duo set. That's real good. They're going to start putting the black metal on the front of the house now, trying to brave the heat, or at least beat the heat until it gets really hot this afternoon. We'll see how much they can get done today before it becomes triple digits. Okay, so today is presenting some challenges. Not only is it triple digit heat, but it is super windy. So it feels like there's a blow dryer on you. This poor guy's up here, but the wind is like really making the metal a difficult task up there. It's whacking them in the face and they're having to roll the metal up and stuff, but they're still working. Our neighbor is also here haying our field. We do a hay share with him. So he takes half the hay, we keep half the hay in exchange for him mowing it every year. We love that. So he's working over there, they're working over here. Hopefully this wind kind of dies down a little bit and makes life easier for everyone.
So the wind today has been incredibly blustery, it is unrelenting, and it's gotten progressively worse throughout the day. And what that's resulted in is that Michael and Sebastian had to come down off of the roof. They couldn't get any felt paper down. It was just really unsafe conditions, especially since they were handling those long sheets of metal, the tin that they were trying to put down on the roof. So
yeah, we did not want those flying off the roof, and we also don't want the guys taking flight and flying off the roof. So instead they've come back down and they're gonna continue to work on that front truss. So maybe we'll get the cross beam on today. I'm really, really anxious to see how that looks because it is a massive timber.
See how it goes.
This is exciting. We got our massive timber in place, so at least we got something done today with all the wind. So unfortunate that we kind of lost an afternoon due to that, but it's safer for everyone to be down on the ground. So hopefully tomorrow the wind dies down. It's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, so we'll see if we can get the metal on the roof. As the saying goes, if you want to make it rain, cut your hay. We have triple-digit temperatures in our forecast for the next 7 to 10 days. I mean, just all the way down the row. So we called the neighbor, we said, let's cut the hay. Let's not have it rained on this year. We woke up at about 4 o'clock this morning to just torrential downpours. Thunder, lightning, just pouring rain all over our OSB roof that isn't covered yet and all over our hay. So luckily today is supposed to be about 90 degrees, so it should all dry up and evaporate really quickly, but it's unbelievable. I couldn't even believe that I heard rain this morning at 4 a.m. Okay, so we're at a bit of a standstill with the metal. Some of the long pieces were actually damaged, and so they cannot continue on without those pieces. So very close to being done. We're going to get some replacement metal. No big deal, but in order to just keep working today and keep making progress, we're going to switch gears and start working on that front truss. I am so excited to see that thing complete. Hey guys, can you also take one of those big scrap pieces and then I want you to chisel it into one of those little wooden bears that climbs the post? Can you do that?
So what about halfway up that one?
Yeah. I want 2 cubs that climb the post.
One with a really detailed salmon in its mouth.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now you get to work, I'll pick you up in a couple weeks.
It is Saturday, which means Jeremy and I have the place to ourselves. We've got some work to do, although we are on day 1 of the hottest heat wave in the history of the Pacific Northwest.
Of all time. So the inland Northwest, we were anticipating like 110-degree temperatures over the next few days. Today is day 1 of that heat wave, so no better time to be outside working on the front wall of our home. Fortunately,
Yes.
It is currently in the shade.
Yes.
So
Currently, the house is casting kind of a shadow, so we've got like a nice 98-degree breeze. But we've got to get it done because the guys need it done for the overhang so they can actually finish this roof next week. So let's get to work.
Do it.
Freaking fly.
On our last video, we actually balloon framed out this wall. About 80% of it is done, but we have the top gable end windows that we still need to frame out. So we're just going to get those top portions in, and then we will begin sheeting the wall from the bottom up. And then we're going to go sit on ice cubes. That's what my plan is tonight, is to sit on ice cubes.
Sounds good. I always think there's spiders in here.
You love spiders.
What? So I got these 2 outside gable end windows framed in. They're actually 3 feet wide by 2 feet in height here on this end. So a little tricky considering all the angles. Wasn't too bad though. I just set everything up, marked it. Me and my cousin saw, brought it back, got it nailed in place. It makes for a much smaller opening, but what we're having to remind ourselves is that we're going to have an overhang that's actually set at a lower elevation coming off the front of the house here. That'll tie into all the timbers that we have set up front. So I think it'll look good, but it's just a change for now, so we're gonna have to get used to it.
The kids have been so kind as to remind me that I keep forgetting to share my snack. And don't worry, I have been snacking. I do that regularly. But I've been forgetting to share them. So we got an entire box from the Haribo Gummy Company. I believe these gummies all came from Germany. And so it's been really fun to see all the different gummies that they have over there. I have not introduced them yet. So the funnest one that we got was the Smurfs. Smurfs was something that Jeremy and I watched on TV when we were kids, obviously, but the kids actually, hey, the kids are not familiar with the Smurfs, so I think it's really fun to share that with them. So I'm gonna give Eli a Papa Smurf. Kira's gonna get Smurfette, of course. Always thought it was really weird that there was only one girl in the entire community. Super problematic, right? And then the regular little Smurf with the white hat. So these gummies are a little bit different than gummy bears. They're not like real soft, they're super dense. And they have a totally different flavor. They're really good. You like them? Thank you guys so much for these.
It's only one girl in a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
It's a good ratio.
For her.
It's good for her. Bad for the dudes.
Unless it was you and then you get Smurfette. So this buildup and little pocket up there is going to hold the ridge beam that is going to go underneath and support our 14-foot overhang that will go off the front. So that's what Jeremy's working on there, and then we will frame out our 2 big gable end windows.
Hey, Melissa.
What?
I think I'm gonna need you to climb the ladder and come up here and help me.
No.
I can't hold this by myself.
Okay. It's hiding on the other side of the truss. So we're dealing with hornets again. There's 2 nests up there. We've knocked them down, and now the hornets are really mad. So they're buzzing us. That's the soothing sound of the metal ladder. Jeremy, that's the music of your life. Embrace it.
Beautiful piece.
Isn't it?
Gorgeous. It's a palomino. It's gorgeous.
What are you guys doing? Sheep are hiding out in the shade. Our front wall is officially framed, which is a huge relief. I made a lot out of balloon framing a wall, but after a while, we got it done. So now we're officially going to start sheeting. We need to sheet from the bottom going up, so Jeremy's gonna come down.
Woo, it's hot.
Totally off topic, but this is the biggest wish ball I've ever seen. Look at this thing. This is like some Lorax wish balling.
We got our first bottom row set here on this front wall, and because we are only having to fill very narrow stretches between the window and the slider, we've resorted to using our scrap materials. Once again, this is some of the leftover material that we have from when this front slider wall came crashing down. So I'm glad we held on to all of that. It's going to come in handy because even though lumber prices have begun to come down, sheeting is still very expensive.
We're sweating profusely.
I am so hot.
It is so hot. I can barely stand it. Okay, so the sun is intense. It's really, really intense, and we're feeling intense.
It's just not healthy. So we're gonna take a break and come back out once things cool off a little bit.
Yeah, yep. We're gonna come back out at about 7 p.m. Hopefully the sun is set and the temperature's dropped about 20 degrees, and we'll see what we can get done tonight.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it's 8 o'clock at night, 8:15 actually. We have to get back to work, but we've been delaying it's still this hot. And this is inside our barn. But out we go. Challenges we are having now is cutting the sheets around the beams and then also around the truss pieces, or I guess it's the build out pieces that come out. So we're making a bunch of little cuts while Jeremy's making a bunch of little cuts. So
I've had one shot at it. I'll get it right now.
Second time's the charm. We're also losing light, which is definitely making this a little bit trickier, but on the bright side, it is much easier. Nailing that last piece up, and then we just really can't see anymore. So I think we're probably done for the evening. Unfortunately, because the temperature is really nice, we just can't see.
It's like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
It is the next morning. It is roasting hot out here already. Almost unbearably hot, even though it's like 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's hot. So we did not get our sheeting done last night, but the guys are back with above the bar. They're gonna start working on the overhang portion, at least getting that ridge beam set. And Jeremy and I are gonna start routering out the windows that we covered up last night. And then once the guys are done and we're not gonna be in their way, we're going to continue all of that sheeting because we have to get it done today.
It's gonna be 120 degrees.
110.
All right, the ridge beam is going up for our overhang. We're gonna show you there's a pocket that's been cut out at the top of this front wall. So they're gonna try to get that thing, hopefully it's cut to perfection, try to get that plugged in and then set on the little upright support that you'll see here behind me at the end of the overhang itself. I feel like it's a giant battering ram and it's just gonna take the entire front wall out.
Oh my gosh, that would be so terrible.
This is medieval times up in here.
This is kind of nerve-wracking. He's threading the needle. Yeah! Okay, so they're actually going to be taking it down and then cutting off about a ½ inch to give them a little bit more wiggle room. The problem they're having is once they get it in, they're lifting it up and over and into that little tiny slot. So they're going to make some adjustments and try this again. It's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, we're just gonna scrap it. We were hoping to do it all out of the basket, but
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna try the straps instead of the basket. Oh good, yeah, ladders up there, that's really scary. These guys are crazy. They're so much braver than I am. Holy crap. Well, it's in, but that was really nerve-wracking. Just watching everything. I'm hearing crackling.
Some might even say it was top-notch work. There's a notch. It was top-notch.
Oh my gosh, I would say it's above the bar. Actually.
Top-notch. Huh?
Huh?
You got
That was good with the dad jokes. Now that that beam is up and in place, the guys are going to start cutting rafters. Jeremy and I are going to continue routering out all of those front openings. Current forecast, 106 degrees. Let's do this.
Told her I needed her help up here. Let's see how confident she is. Getting up on the man.
Ow!
Yeah, it's hot.
How am I supposed to touch that?
Here. Maneuvering her way onto the platform.
I got 2 hands. Ow! Ow! It's like getting a hot pan out of the oven. Oh my god!
Take the long way home if it meant I'd go walking by your door. Together we could see where the road will lead to the unknown. There is no end if you believe. Take my hand.
Alright, how's it going?
Going. We're getting what we need to get done. It's just miserably hot. I'm trying not to focus and dwell on it, but it's impossible not to because it's like the surface of the sun out here. It's by far the hottest day that we've had since moving here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, by far. So we're not really used to it. So we're hanging out in the shade right now, taking a little break. We'll keep drinking water, we'll keep going, and it'll get done.
You make my world come alive.
Okay, so the north half of this front wall here in our great room is pretty much done to this point. At least it's sheeted. I managed to get a couple of the seams taped off, rolled out. The only reason that I taped those 2 seams and none of the others was because once we get this overhang completed, there's gonna be a rafter that's blocking that. So it was important for me to take this opportunity to do it now.
Right, the other seams we can do after the fact. So right now we're just trying to get what we need to get done because we want to go inside.
It's starting to cool off. It's later in the day now, which is
It
nice. So
yeah.
we'll bang this out and get our butts inside where it's a lot cooler.
Sounds good. Current temperature, 102 degrees. See, it's getting much cooler.
It's like tropical paradise.
The heat, the unrelenting heat. We never expected triple-digit temperatures for days on end when we moved here. This week has been a challenge, not only on the build, but for life on the homestead. It has been a mad scramble to keep our livestock and our garden alive. And this front wall, it has proven to be our greatest challenge so far. Between our errors last week and then rushing to finish despite the worst heat wave in North Idaho's history. But we got it done. We learned a lot, we cursed a little, and we laughed, mostly at ourselves. But as the saying goes, thankfully, persistence is a great substitute for actual know-how. One day, we'll forget about how difficult it was, and we'll just enjoy the view. But today is not that day. Today, we are dirty, we are sweaty, and we are exhausted. But hey, that is what persistence looks like.